Hey everyone, happy Friday. So let's pick up our discussion on biblical eons, where in this video I want to continue talking about the adjective form Eonian in relationship to covenants. Now, the one and only occurrence of Eonian covenant in the New Testament is found here in Hebrews 13:20, where anything concerning the blood of Jesus concerns all who will allot the regency of God, whether that it's those who was foreseen before the downcast of the cosmos, or those who are prepared from the downcast of the cosmos. Where if you need a refresher on how to correctly cut the word of truth regarding the before the downcast of the cosmos and the from the downcast, watch part 3 again. So the blood of the Eonian covenant points to Christ. And to Abraham were the promises talked, and to his seed, the seed of the faithing ones. He does not say, and to the seeds as of many, but as to one, he says, and to your seed, which is Christ, which takes us to Genesis 17. Okay, so the covenant that Yahweh established with Abraham is an Eonian covenant. It has stand from the time Yahweh established it all the way to the last sheep who will come into the allotment of Matthew 25:34. Now, the phrase Eonian covenant only occurs 15 times in the Old Testament, where the first occurrence is the covenant Yahweh established with Noah after the flood, promising not to do that again in this present eon, or the present heavens and earth, hence Eonian. Now, the Mosaic covenant is also called an Eonian covenant. And the sons of Israel guard the Sabbath to make the Sabbath for their generations. So it's perpetual. That's why it's Eonian. But we know that the law of Moses as a covenant cannot justify the human. Unless you ignore the New Testament writings, then you don't know this. That you are not able to be justified in the law of Moses concerns the covenant that was established with him beginning in Exodus 19:5. But that covenant was a pedagogue into Christ so that we may be justified out of faithing. But due to the faithing having come, we are no more under a pedagogue. But those who want to continue subordinating themselves to the law of Moses are still under that pedagogue until the finishing of this eon, where if they want to continue, even after that prepared from the downcast of the cosmos is completed, they will be cursed. Okay? For as many as are out of the works of the law of Moses that cannot justify the human are under a curse. So those who want to continue under the law of Moses will have to figure that out among the third watch time sheep, who will be segregated from the kids. Matthew 25:32, where the statement here, again in verse 34, which I've talked about in that part 3 video, law accordingly allot the regency, having been prepared from the downcast of the cosmos, looking back, all the way back to Genesis 1:2, from that point where we who come in prior into the faithing, we're the context of the outchosen before that. Okay, according to the mystery and according to the upheading, which is a better covenant. The better covenant, which has been law set according to better promises, is that was given to Abraham in Genesis 17, which pointed to Christ. Before Abraham's name was changed, God also set a covenant here in Genesis 15, which is the context of the allotment from the downcast of the cosmos, where the better covenant came in after his situation with Hagar. So Paul allegorizes these two covenants. So the point being is that covenants that are Eonian covenants have standing according to their contexts of the present heavens and earth. And the Eonian covenant in 2 Samuel concerns the conclusionary of the third watch time, where the left named are cut off and cursed, and they will not make them sprout. When my house would not so be with El, he's referring to the left named cursed, where he has put as an Eonian covenant with me, where if you look down here, you see a bunch of keywords. All of them are as thorns having been thrust away, points to verses like Hebrews 6:8, but bringing forth thorns and 3 sprouted ones. This is all third watch time context. It is unapproved and near a curse, whose finishing is into scorchingness, which is the Eonian fire, finishing judgment of the cursed. Matthew 25:41. And the word covenant with Eonian attached only occurs 15 times in the Old Testament and once in the New. So you can get the Devar translation here for free and examine them if you so wish, and I would love to have some discussion in the comments. Thanks for watching. God bless.